Less than 3,000 pounds, off-grid, off-road, really cool styling, and all the quality you know from nuCamp. This 2025 Tab 400 is loaded with features, plus some. So stick with me, I'm going to show you all the details. Hey everybody, I'm PJ, and this Tab 400 behind me, it has all the great features and quality that you know from nuCamp. But in 2025, they added some new features, and I'm going to show you all the details. It weighs less than 3,000 pounds. This is the Black Canyon series, and it's only 18 foot 3 inches long. So it's small, it's easy to tow, and loaded with features, including tons of solar, the inverter, all kinds of options for you. Let's go inside and get started. Stepping inside, that nice, open, modern feeling and the quality evident every time I walk in a nuCamp product, and this 400 is no different. I love the light paneling that you'll see in all the 400s in 2025, and the white walls. It's got a little bit of a gray striping to it to make it feel a little more natural, but very open in here. We're going to start right up front because you've got this nice dinette. Now it does go down into a bed. It's 31 inches wide and 6 foot 9 inches long. Not a full-size bed, but extra sleeping if you need it. You've got a little extra over there, the way the seating curves around, and huge window right here. I love these windows. In fact, right now is a great time for me to show you how these windows work and what the advantages are. They are a double-paned acrylic window, and you can open them up all the way, or maybe just a little if you prefer that. You tighten and loosen it right here. Just loosen that piece. Got another one on this side. Let me be sure I'm turning them the right way. And the window will drop down. So you can put this, again, any place you want to put it, and just tighten these screws down, and you've got just the opening that you want. Now, if you wanted to simply open it just a little bit but have the window secure, maybe it's at night and you're sleeping, then there is a place right here. I'll show you, a little hard to see, but it's in that little slot right there, and you want to put this right in the middle. Right there. Now that isn't closed. That is allowing a little bit of air to pass through, which is always nice, but it keeps your window secure. Now, if you wanted to secure the window for travel, you will need to, this button is stiff. You will need to lift it up. You always have to push the button in to turn those bottom handles. And you want that latch to be completely in front of that little tab with the slice in the middle. Once that's done, you latch it all the way around. You're ready to travel. All right, the dual pane window is so nice because you get the big view, but if you want a blackout shade, just pull it up from the bottom, and a screen, just pull it down from the top. I love this window. This is what makes all the nuCamp products just feel so nice. I'm gonna open that up, get us a little more air, a little more light. Let's talk about how the table goes down because it's a little different than what you may be used to. The first thing you want to do is fold the leg up. Now it's very easy to do. You've got a thumb latch here and it just folds under like that. The good part about that is you're not taking out legs, putting in new legs. There's no extra pieces. And then up here at the top, push down on the thumb latches to disengage it from the rail. Once you do that, just lift this up to about a 60-degree angle and it comes right off. You're ready to reattach it right down here in this lower bar, and that makes the base for your beds. Simply slide over the cushions and you've got a nice bed for your company. All right, to put it back on, super easy. Just lift it off down below like we did, bring it up, put it back in its place here on the rail, and then you'll want to pop up these tabs. Just kind of put your finger next to it, give it a tug, and down here, just open up the leg, and you're good to go. I love this table because it's super sturdy. It's white, which, I don't know, brightens up the place, And I love the fact that it's very easy to take on and off, move it where you need it. All right, if you happen to be sitting here working, which a lot of you do, you want to know that there is a 120 plug right underneath, as well as a 12-volt port and 2 USBs right under your feet. You also have the ducting for the heating, and the air conditioner is underneath that seating there. There is some storage underneath this seating, easy to get to, but it's not terribly deep, but still, you want to use every square inch that you can get. You do have a nice window behind me with the blackout shade, and it doesn't open, but gives you a nice view out when you're sitting here, one on each side. Up top here, you do have open cubbies. They do have the speakers on the back wall, which is nice, but I love these open spaces. They have lights in them, so it's easy to see what's there, but a great place to just drop things in. You've got a little bit of a shelf right across here. Again, not very easy to get into, but if you wanted to slip some things in here, have them accessible, it's very doable. I like the recessed lighting right here underneath. And again, on the other side, you've got a cabinet up top. Now the one over here is only about 2 or 3 inches deep, but over there it's about 6 inches deep. Why? Because they have brought the wall out just a little bit to give you 4 openings. Shelves where you don't have those cabinet doors getting in your way, but you have a reach-in cubby. The top ones are, again, about 6 inches deep, and you've got 3 different spaces for storage. The one on the bottom is a little deeper, so you could fit some larger items in there. There is an opening right there in front of the window as well. Now to the right, you'll see that that is where your glycol check is. This has an ALDA system that is going to provide heat and hot water, and you want to check the fluids in that from time to time. So just inside that opening there, you can check the ALDA. But don't worry about putting things in and out of that cabinet. You don't need to do that very often. They just make it super easy. So you can still use that for tons of storage. All right, there's plenty of storage in the kitchen too. Let me show you that next. One of the features that makes the Tab 400 feel so nice is not only the portal windows, but all the rounded features in the kitchen area. As you walk in, you've got kind of a circular countertop here, and up at the top, of course, the sink. It's about 6 inches deep with the faucet that you pull up, and the glass top. So if you don't need the sink right then, this can be countertop space. But the storage underneath is really unique. Of course, they've got the pop-up buttons that are wonderful because they're flush, out of the way when they're locked, and when you need them, you just pop the latch out and open the cabinet. So this is round storage underneath this sink. Everything is accessible in here. You don't have like a blind corner that you can't see or you have to reach around. I love the feel of this. I love how useful it is, and I love that you can open one side or the other, because most campers know what they're keeping in certain areas. You just open one side and grab what you need. Now the storage next to that is 2 drawers right here. They are a little bit different, both about 5 or 6 inches deep, and you do have a silverware tray in this one that fits perfectly. It is set into 2 different spaces. You do have space underneath this tray and then space next to it. So very well divided, so you can use it for lots of different things and it doesn't get all cluttered. Underneath, the same drawer, just fully open. Now this is the nuCamp pack. nuCamp sends you with not only all the books, but a lot of cool things that'll be really useful in your camper. So be sure to check that out. What you see next to it here is going to be the nozzle for the spray port on the outside, and I'll show you that when we get there. More storage right next to this. Let's open it up, and you've got 2 shelves here. This is probably over 2 feet deep and about 15 inches tall. So these 2 areas will be great for a pantry, for maybe any of the other food storage items that you need. And then underneath that, another drawer. Not quite as deep as the countertop because you do have some equipment behind it, but it is about a foot deep and maybe 4 or 5 inches, well, 4 or 5 inches deep and about a foot long. It's always hard to know how to explain the dimensions in a cabinet. Let's get back to the top of the kitchen because right next to the glass top sink, you've got the glass top stove. You guys already know this is all countertop when you're not using it, but really nice to just pop this up. You've got 2 nice burners here with the controls underneath the glass. And be sure to lift this up a little bit before you drop it down so you don't bend the hinges. It's a locking mechanism so it can't close on you when you're cooking. Nice big window back here. 2 drop lights so your countertop is going to be well lit. You also have the recessed lighting right up here. When I'm camping, I don't want that light in my eyes. I love the recessed lighting. I love the drop lights. Very well done. And more storage. So up here, cabinet that's, I don't know, the depth of here maybe 15 inches. And it's about 15 inches square. Man, you could put a lot of food up there. Open cabinet right here, so it's a reach in. This lip is about 3 inches tall. So this could be clothes, this could be food, it could be paper towels. So many different things can just go in this cubby right at the top. And of course over here, as you can see, the microwave. So you've got a fully equipped kitchen. If you wanted to put your coffee maker right here in the middle, you've got a 120 plug right there. And you do have controls at the end of this cabinet. So let's take a quick peek. Right up here, this is the controls for your Alda system. As I mentioned before, this is a piece of equipment that you will find in almost all the nuCamps. It's wonderful because it is almost silent, not like those furnaces that come on and off. It's radiant heat, and it just quietly heats up the camper, and it's wonderful. It's even heat. You don't have a big fan blowing, and if you don't want the heat, you just turn it on to heat the water. It can do that as well. So you've got hot water, you've got a furnace, all built into one in your Alda system up here. Right down below, the Dometic, that is going to be the air conditioner. There's also a heat pump in that air conditioner. So if you want to run everything on electric, you can run your heat pump there. Now, it's probably not going to be enough heat for freezing weather, but it definitely will help take the chill off if that's what you're looking for. Over here, of course, the monitor system for all your tanks, water pump, the porch light, sink light right there, the ones right here, and then your accent light right above. And one more thing while I'm here, I love the built-in screen door. When you need it, you just pull it across, and when you don't, it tucks away into the frame of the door. Don't have to separate doors because this door has pockets on it. I'll show you that on the way out. All right, let's keep going because there's a lot to talk about. Up above here, you've got the Jensen Bluetooth stereo. Everything you need to get some tunes going, the HDMI plug, all the stuff. Very compact, but really usable. And it's Jensen, top of the line for RVs. Underneath, you've got the 12-volt refrigerator. Lots of space in here. 2 shelves, you've got a pull-out tray. Drop-down freezer, or lift-up freezer. Yeah, I mean, it could fit some small ice cream. Maybe some of the ice cube trays. Not huge, but you do have a freezer. You've got some shelves here, so really quite a bit of space there. And that is 12 volts, so it doesn't switch over, run on electric and all of that. However, you do have a lot of solar at the top, and it's very efficient on battery usage, so don't worry about that. It is a great way to go, cools down in 2 hours. And down below, more storage. Look at these drawers. Pull that out. Now, I like to pull this out to show you that you've got not the full width on here because you've got another cubby on the inside, but you do have really nice deep space. It is probably a foot deep. Down below, you've got a larger drawer, although not quite as long. Again, they're using every inch they can. So you've got still about a foot deep and maybe a foot into the drawer here. So great space there. There's one more drawer you might have missed, and it is right below my feet here. So again, it's got a nice depth to it, probably 8 inches, and it gives you a nice sized drawer actually. It doesn't come out any further than that, but one more place to store what you need. All right, there is storage right here in the bedroom. This cubby is going to have not only a little bit of gear on the left, some controls there that you need to know about, but a nice space for storage. Right by the bed, that's perfect. Now let's move around and talk about the controls and the other gear that is on this trailer. Inside this reaching compartment on the left, you have the light switch at the top, and that is for the recessed lighting on both sides of this panel. It also has, you've got switches right on top of your reading lights here that can be blue or can be white. But if you don't need the reading lights, that recessed lighting is really nice in the evening. Down below, you will see there's battery heat right here because this trailer comes standard with a 100 amp hour Battle-Born battery. That is going to be lithium that is going to charge quickly and really hold a lot of power for you to use when you're off grid. Now there is an upgrade package. I'll talk to you about that in just a minute. Right next to that is going to be the button for the 1200 watt inverter. Now that's going to be standard unless you upgrade on the package. That 1200 watt inverter will run this plug and the plug that's on the other side that the TV connects to. If you are off the grid, not plugged in anywhere, both of those household plugs will work. Without an inverter, none of those household plugs will work. So be sure to pay attention to that. It's only those two plugs. But if you upgrade, you can get a 3000 watt inverter, and that is going to be connected to every plug in this camper that isn't on a GFI circuit because it's near water. So keep that in mind if you want to work over by the table. That upgrade to the 3000 watt inverter is going to be a nice feature. Right up top, you don't want to miss that there's a clothes hanger. It's very hard to understand what this is. You just pull it down and then hang your clothes when you need it. And when you don't, just put it right back up. It stays out of the way. You do have a nice Jensen TV on the other side. It's going to run off that inverter if you're not plugged in. But if you are plugged in, great. It's going to be running straight off that shore power. Now let's talk about the mattress and the Froley system, because this mattress is going to be a full 80 inches tall, just like a queen. You do lose a few inches in width. It's 56 inches wide, but it's not very thick, but amazingly comfortable because it has the Froley system underneath that acts as kind of a box spring that we're used to on a traditional mattress. Let me show you what that looks like. It is a piece right here that not only creates a little air underneath your mattress, and that's going to keep the condensation down. It also is going to give you a little spring, a little more comfort. So surprisingly enough, most people find these nuCamp mattresses extremely comfortable. You've already noticed that you've got this stargazer window behind me. Huge window right over the bed. You can open it up, get some breeze, of course pull up the blackout shade, but what a nice feature, and it makes it feel so open back here. Now, as far as space in this camper, it is about 6'7" tall right in the center. I did some measuring, so if you move right over to in front of the sink, it goes down to 6'4". That may be important for you guys who are maybe a little taller than my 5-foot frame. Let's look at the bathroom real quick because it goes down to about 6 foot in here. So you're going to have a little bit shorter height, but hopefully you can duck your head a bit or maybe sit down when you need to. You do have a corner sink. You've got the shower that of course is going to get the entire bathroom wet, but you have a curtain that's going to cover 3 of the walls. So if you can use those 2 nice shelves there to keep all of your bathroom items and just cover it with the shower curtain when you're taking a shower. I love the feel of this. I love the openness, the portal window that of course you can cover up. It does have a standard toilet in it, not the cassette that we've seen in the 320. So you will have a standard dump valve on the outside. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. Now, heading out, I want to mention that you have a nice high-powered fan up here with 3 speeds. So if you open all these gorgeous windows, you can get a great breeze coming through here, and that fan's reversible. Love the feature because you never know if you want the outside air in or to get some of this hot air out. The light up here, it's really unique because you can do just a blue light. Don't know if you can see that well, but then you have 3 light settings. I'm a big fan of different kinds of lighting because when you're off the grid, you're out there in the middle of nowhere and it's dark. That makes a big difference on how this camper feels. So check that out when you're looking at the 400. Now we've got so much to see, let's head outside. So remember I told you about the door. I love the pockets on the door. You've got this space. It can be extra trash bags. It could be the trash, whatever you need. And a window so you can see out with a blackout shade. 2 more pockets up above. Really nice feature to have a little more storage on your door. Now coming around, you've got 2 110s right here. Nice to have outside plug-ins. And over here, these are the watertight compartments that they put in here. And I love the fact that they are solid locking. These are kind of from the marine industry, and they do have a lock on this one. And down in here, you've got a fair amount of space here. It does ramp up, of course, with the bottom of the trailer. But over here on the right, you will see the battery disconnect. That's right on the wall, along with a fuse just above it. But that battery disconnect is going to be what you're going to want to turn off when you're in storage, not when you're camping. So you may have noticed this is kind of a unique color. You can have a Tab 400 or any of the tabs custom painted to match your vehicle or match anything you want. Just pick the color. There's a little bit of a charge there, but the standard colors are going to be the white, the silver, or the charcoal on the base. And then of course on the trim, you could have white, gray, black, or red. That is all standard on this trailer, but remember, you can always make it custom. Now almost everything we're getting here at Princess Craft is going to have the Black Canyon package because it's so popular. And what that Black Canyon package includes is going to be an additional 310 watt solar panel in addition to the 310 watts that's already up there standard. So if you think you might want extra solar for more off-grid capability, then you can get that on the Black Canyon package. It also has tank heaters and underglow lights. The underglow lights, they're kind of a fun thing to have, but they are very useful, again, in those really dark camping spots. You can also get a lithium upgrade package. Now that's going to move you from the standard 100 amp hour Battleborn battery up to 400 amp hour battery. That's huge. And if you've got the Black Canyon package, you've gone from 310 watts of solar to 620 watts of solar. That's going to keep those 400 amp hours charged really quickly. The other thing that's included in the lithium upgrade is going to be a 3,000 watt inverter. Standard is the 1200, but that 3,000 watt inverter is going to go to every plug that isn't connected to the GFI. So those 2 things are in the lithium upgrade. The Black Canyon package just gives you the extra solar, the heated tanks, and the underglow lighting. I hope that clears up a lot of questions, but if you have more, you just let us know. Now let's keep going. Up here, I love this window on the outside because you see that it takes up the majority of the back wall. Handles on the back. You're going to be able to adjust this a little bit, especially if you're on concrete. Now once you get on grass, it's a little tougher, but still nice to have those handles available here. This is going to be the venting for that Alda system that we spoke about. And right in here is your Nautilus system. So controlling all the water in your tanks is going to be right inside here. Remember that coiled hose has a sprayer on the end, plugs in right here so you can have hot and cold water. You have a light switch over here on the left that can be set to on and off, or you can set it as a motion sensor. Really nice, especially if you're camping off the grid. You open the door, the light comes on. You don't have to be fumbling for the switch. Just above that on the left is the plug-in in case you want to add more portable solar. You can never have too much solar. It could be that you're maybe parking in the shade. Plug in a nice portable solar panel, set it out in the sun, and you've got the best of both worlds. Right up here, you've got all the 4 switches that come with the Nautilus system that are going to tell you how you want the water routed. Okay? It's got dry camping, whether you want to run it off city water, if you want to winterize. All of those controls are right up there, very easy to read. So you can just set them to do what you want to happen in the camper at that moment. Your connection to the hydrant is going to be right here, and right over here is going to be your tank flush. Right up there, you have a water pump switch, and so everything is controlled just inside this cabinet. Now, if you look over here on the far side, what you'll see is your tank heaters. You have tank heaters on this that are going to heat your tanks if you happen to be in below freezing weather. They are always adding new features. This is one that I think is really nice, especially for you guys who love to camp absolutely anywhere. The tanks on this, 25-gallon fresh, 18 gray, and 16 black. Nice size tanks for this size trailer. Your electrical plug-in is going to be right here at 30 amp shore power cord. And coming over here, you have the dump valves right here for your water tanks. The black on the left, gray on the right, easy to use. I love the fact that they have a little bit of a downspout here so that you are not trying to be sure everything is coming out of this before you close your slice valves. Nice feature there. And of course, this is the venting for the air conditioner. It's underneath the seating, as I mentioned before, and it has that heat pump, so you've got electric heat as well as the Aldi heat. One of the best new features in 2025 is this huge tub on the front. Let's open this up. It's got 2 of the latches here. Lift it up and look at all that storage. It's just amazing. Now, you want to be careful that you don't put a ton of weight in here because that's going to affect your tongue weight. So be judicious about what you're putting up here. If you put a generator up here, you maybe don't want to keep an extra 100 pounds of tools here as well. But again, great for all those extras that you know we all want to keep with us, and we don't want to have them inside. You've got your propane tank right here, and a few extra features that I think are really nice. Right here, you have an opening that's a little unusual. But as you notice, when you drop this down, you do have a lock right here on the front. You can keep everything safe in here and still be able to reach your propane tanks to turn it off. That is a safety feature that's required by law because propane, of course, is flammable. So you want to be sure you have access. And that's what this little compartment does. Makes it pretty much impossible for anybody to reach in the other side and get any of your gear. So if you've got a generator in there, you can lock it up safe. You do have a place right here for sewer hoses. You know, that really is the toughest thing on any small camper is where do I put the sewer hoses? Nice space, very available, and I like the nice heavy-duty locks they have on here, not something little plastic latch on there. That never lasts, right? So they have done a great job in making this 400 just a little better in 2025. So if there's any questions that you have on this, feel free to contact us. I'm PJ from Princess Craft RV. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.